Can I help?
No, you're okay, thank you.
You have to have permission to take photographs or film.
I have permission, thank you.
Yeah, who do you have permission from?
Pardon?
Who do you have permission from?
The person I need to get permission from.
Okay. Can you tell me their details?
Sure. The starts with Article 10, finishes with the Human Rights Act.
DTP opens with a confident command of the law, clearly pointing to Article 10 of the Human Rights Act, which protects freedom of expression. That right isn't limited to spoken words alone. It also covers the ability to collect information and share it openly with others, that in real-world terms. This protection includes recording in public places. Filming in public isn't a special privilege or a loophole. It is a lawful activity tied directly to a basic civil right. The law recognizes recording as a legitimate way people express, document, and communicate information. This is the point where individual freedoms intersect with transparency. When cameras are present in public spaces, they serve as a tool for accountability. It's a clear reminder that civil liberties don't exist in theory only. They operate where the public and authority meet face to face.
I'm on a publicly accessible area.
You do. You see all the signs that say...
Yeah, beyond this point. And do you know what the other sign says? It's publicly accessible up to the reception, so this is actually part of the publicly accessible area. So if you want to follow your own signs, we'll follow your signs, and that's fine. And I'll stand here and carry on doing what I'm doing. Who are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Don't want to tell you.
Hey, exactly, there you go. You're going to try and give me orders, you don't even want to identify who you are.
Come with me.
No, I'm good. I'm good. You can go.
Every police officer in the UK operates under Pace Code a clear set of rules that governs how authority must be exercised. One of its core requirements is simple but critical. Officers must identify themselves when using their powers or giving instructions to the public. This step is not a courtesy. It is a legal obligation. When an officer chooses not to identify themselves, it goes beyond poor conduct and enters the territory of procedural failure. The situation becomes even more serious when that silence is paired with intimidating language or implied consequences. At that point, the issue is no longer about communication, but about misuse of authority. Refusing to identify oneself weakens public confidence and removes an important layer of accountability. History has shown that unchecked power leads to serious harm when safeguards are ignored. Transparency in policing is not optional or symbolic. It is a vital measure that protects both the public and the officers themselves.
Because you don't want to give me details, I think you possibly pose a terrorist risk.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
If I seize that, then...
You're going to seize this?
Yeah. And then...
Why?
At this stage, the officer escalates the encounter by warning that the phone could be taken under terrorism-related powers. In most cases, this would point to Section 43 of the Terrorism Act. However, the law sets a very clear threshold for using that authority. Simply recording in a public place does not, by itself, justify such a move. Officers are required to have reasonable and specific grounds to suspect involvement in terrorism before these powers can be applied. That suspicion must be based on clear behavior or credible information, not assumption or discomfort. Without concrete indicators to support it, the threat carries no real legal weight. In fact, using terrorism powers without proper grounds risks crossing into unlawful action. The law is designed to prevent abuse of authority, not to silence lawful public activity.
So do you know the memo by the National Police Chiefs Council?
So what I'll do, if I take that, and then I'll review that, and then if there's anything...
how about I show you the footage now? Okay. I've been here 5 minutes, alright, and so I don't want you to see this, my only phone. Freedom of expression, freedom of the press.
So then I think...
Do you know what that means?
What's that guy doing?
Do you know the oath that you took to uphold your oath?
So I think, what's that guy doing? That's a bit odd.
So you're incriminating my right to silence and my right to privacy is what you're saying?
I'm making sure that you're up to no good.
You make sure that I'm up to no good?
Yeah.
You mean you make sure that I'm not up to no good?
Yeah.
Or you're trying to find something. You're trying to make sure that I'm up to no good, so you're trying to find anything that you can, because I didn't want to answer your questions.
No. I'm making sure that you're here, so you don't not posing a threat to anyone. Okay. So you hang on, stop. Okay. Right? So you're right. Those signs there says no access beyond the public.
At this point, am I being detained?
Hey?
Am I detained at the moment?
No.
Okay, so I'm not detained. All right. Then.
Not at the minute.
So you still haven't identified yourself. Seeing as you said you threatened to seize. No, identify yourself because you threatened to seize my phone. So let's go through the identification, prove that you have the power to do so.
Okay.
Andy McDonald, 2249. Is that constable? Or is that sergeant?
Constable.
So I want to know so I know how to make a complaint. And you are?
I'm Detective Constable Dodds.
You're Detective Constable Dodds.
I'm here with my colleague.
Listen, so because we've had...
Have you got your warrant card with you?
Yeah, thank
please,
you
in your plain clothes, can I see it, please?
We're talking to you, right?
Yes, and if you're talking to me in your capacity, then you need to show me your warrant card. Did you guys learn nothing after Wayne Couzens? Nothing at all?
Just calm
No, because he's just threatened to seize my phone and accused me of being a terrorist.
No, I know, you put it on YouTube and it shows you access routes and all that lot. Take it to the court and they might decide...
You really think that would go to the courts? Mate, you would find yourself in civil litigation before you could say shit.
So we'd have a look at that. And if there's nothing on there, then happy days.
Yeah, you'll be the one up in court on civil litigation if you take my phone.
Then happy days will get returned to you.
Go for it.
But if not, then you'd be trespassing, you'd be ejected from the site for trespass.
Right.
But if you're staying in the public areas, have a good
you need to
afternoon.
jog on, you need to go home.
Okay,
No,
I think you haven't even shown your warrant card, so you can keep your mouth shut.
Okay.
Keep your mouth shut. You're not even going to identify yourself.
So you can...
Well, I don't know, because you won't identify.
You can stay in the public
You're just another Wayne Couzens, aren't you?
You have a nice day in the...
So yeah, try not to murder anyone, try not to rape anyone, try not to take pictures of anybody in your care.
Enjoy yourself.
Try not to strip search any 14-year-old girls, is what you police like to do. Especially ones like you who refuse to identify.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You won't even show your warrant card.
Taking pictures.
It's alright, you're gonna get an IOPC complaint.
Okay, no problem.
That's fine. Trying to abuse terrorism act. Considering there's a memo from the Chiefs Council.
BC2249 McDonald.
Yeah, I've got it all on camera. That's fine.
And we could show them the footage. Let's talk.
Yeah, that's fine. I will show them footage. You're going to abuse your powers despite the memo.
You got any ID?
Pardon?
You got any ID?
Have you got any ID?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's very
Can I
kind of
see
you.
yours then?
Pardon?
Have you got any ID to show me?
Well, you first.
Are you an officer?
Pardon?
You a police officer?
Well, I'm not answering any questions until you tell me who you are. So,
Head of
Stephen Smith, 6995, lovely. What's that? PC, DS, DC? Your rank?
Senior manager, MB3.
Senior manager, so you're not a police officer?
No.
What follows is a demand for identification made by police staff, not an officer. That distinction matters, because police staff do not hold the legal power to require ID from members of the public. This is not a small technicality. It goes to the heart of lawful authority. When identification is requested without any power to enforce it, the purpose often shifts from legality to pressure. The request can feel official and intimidating, even though it carries no legal backing. That atmosphere alone can push people into handing over information they are fully entitled to withhold. The fact that such a demand was made at all is deeply concerning. It raises serious questions about training, oversight, and whether authority is being used to influence behavior rather than follow the law. In situations like this, the misuse of position can quietly undermine public rights without anyone realizing it.
Was that a constructive use of your time, vegan bacon? So was that a constructive use of your time, vegan bacon?
I can't what you're saying.
Said, was that a constructive use of your time, vegan bacon?
What's vegan bacon?
You, fake cop. Fake pig. Fake pig, you are. Come up and demand ID from...
recording this?
Yeah, come up and demand ID from people like you have some sort of authority. Not even the police have that authority, and yet you think you can do that. Can you stand up and be professional if you're going to address me as a police officer? Or was I talking to you? I was talking to him.
I don't have to stand up. I can sit down. That's fine.
Well, then I'm just going to put my headphones back in and ignore you again.
We can have a conversation.
Right, there we go.
Stand up,
Thank
we can have
you.
A Look,
right, if you're going to act as a police officer, act professional.
Let me give you a scenario, right? So let's say you go into Tesco's, which you would agree is publicly accessible for people to go shopping. Yeah. For that purpose, would you agree in that?
Yeah.
And you did something in Tesco's just for...
I can walk into Tesco to browse. I don't have to walk in there to shop.
Yeah.
I can walk in here to browse.
But let's say you did something in there that's causing people to feel uncomfortable and causing...
If there was a lawful basis for why...
The argument then shifts to a comparison with Tesco, but that comparison falls apart almost immediately. A supermarket is private property, owned and controlled by a company that is legally allowed to set and enforce its own conditions of entry. A police station, by contrast, is a public building funded by taxpayers and governed by entirely different legal standards. Discomfort from staff, or a general sense of unease, is not a lawful reason to remove someone from a public space. When a person is acting within the law and exercising their rights, personal objections do not override legal protections. Article 10 of the Human Rights Act, which safeguards freedom of expression, still applies in these settings. Unless there is clear evidence of an actual offense, members of the public cannot simply be told to leave. Treating a public police facility like a private supermarket reflects a serious misunderstanding of both accountability and legal responsibility. It blurs the line between private control and public duty, where the law demands far greater transparency.
No, where I disagree is whatever that is that you're causing people to feel uncomfortable, even if it was completely lawful, I would say that they've got the right to ask you to leave. And that's what we're doing. You can go onto the sort of out of the problem.
So what if I stand there?
I think that would be fine. Yeah.
So what's the difference between standing here and recording and there recording?
Because
pardon? Is it illegal to raise my voice?
No, but it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Well, it's unnecessary for you to come and accost me, to be honest.
Well,
you've just said I can stand there and record, but I can't sit here and record.
This is private.
But there's no difference. There's no difference in the action, is there? It's still going to make them uncomfortable. So what's the difference?
I can't do anything about it. All I can do is ask you to leave the public.
Yeah, and that's what you can. Yeah, you can ask me, and I'll politely decline.
My job is to try, over and above protecting the public and enforcing the law, is to try and if somebody's made to feel uncomfortable, is to try and address that and sort it out.
Right.
So that's what I've tried to do in this situation.
Okay.
If you just, we're going to go away now, and I've said I'd like to leave our property,
right?
And I've given you a reasonable time of 10 minutes to do that. So we're going to leave now.
Okay. And what if I don't? What if I'm still here in 10 minutes?
Well, it's a civil matter, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll have to make a decision about how we want to deal with that.
And how would you? And what would you do?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet.
Hi, sir.
All right.
Well, I've asked one of my uniformed colleagues to come and speak to you, just to see if you engage differently with somebody's more identifiable.
As the situation unfolds, plainclothes officers appear unable to maintain control of the interaction. Instead of de-escalating, they choose to involve a uniformed constable. On its own, requesting support from a uniformed officer is not unlawful and can be appropriate in many situations. However, context and purpose matter greatly. When a uniformed presence is introduced primarily to discourage or deter someone who is lawfully recording, the action shifts from support to pressure. At that point, the presence of authority risks being used as a tool rather than a safeguard. The College of Policing's Code of Ethics is clear on this issue. Officers are expected to act with fairness, openness, and integrity at all times. Deploying uniforms to influence lawful behavior runs counter to those values and weakens public confidence. Policing relies on trust to function, and actions like this slowly erode the very confidence the system is meant to uphold.
PC 137 and advised them that we have asked you to leave the curtilage of what we deem to be the private property, and we're giving you reasonable time in which to do that. And I'll just reiterate that the reason why we've asked you to leave is because we've had complaints that your behaviour is making people feel uncomfortable. I've rephrased it there that I'm not using the word distress, which you took a perception to, and I wouldn't. That's not what's been reported. It's made people feel uncomfortable.
Okay. So now your job is for 3 constables to stand around and try and try to enforce people's discomfort and feelings over the law.
I've explained. I'm going to go now.
You're going to go.
If you feel uncomfortable about 3 people being here, that's fine. And
it doesn't matter if there are 10 people here.
We're trying a different approach to see whether that's
PC
agreeable with you.
137. PC 137. I'll suggest you get in your car and drive away. You're not going to get any more response out of me than they are.
That's absolutely fine.
The uniform does not intimidate me any more than your plain clothes does. Oh, is it not? No. That's funny.
People feel more comfortable.
Yeah. Funny that, because the psychology behind it says different. If you actually look at Ash's studies from the 70s, his studies on compliance and uniform actually state the opposite.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm actually a psychologist. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like you said, you sort of intimated that you took exception to there being three police officers here. So I'm going to leave because
go for it. You do what you want to do.
More to say to you. But yeah, we'll leave you in colleagues' capable hands. All right.
I love that. Detective Sergeant's got to get a PC to handle his dirty work.
Look, I just want to make you as comfortable as possible, so I'll introduce myself as PC 137. I've had no idea as to what this incident is about. What's going on here?
Well, I'm sure they've just informed you of that over at the car when you were stood there talking for 10 minutes.
Well, I've got a rough idea, but I'd like to hear it from you. As I say, I'm completely unbiased.
I'm here minding my own business and I come and get accosted by 2 constables.
Okay. Any reason police station compared to anywhere else?
Because we pay for it and I can.
Okay, that's fair enough. It is a public property, isn't it?
Thank you very much. If only they knew that.
What I'll say is that obviously the inquiry office isn't open. So
yeah, I know. I already tried to go in there. Yeah.
Have a chat. They do close at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I just want to make you aware that I'm not suggesting that you will at all, but certainly we have had cars damaged here in the past. and that's why when we see somebody sat here with a camera, just sometimes people don't have as good intentions.
At this moment, suspicion is being built not on what is happening now, but on unrelated events from the past. That approach amounts to guilt by association, where previous actions by others are used to justify scrutiny of someone who has done nothing wrong. The law does not permit this kind of reasoning. Assuming that anyone holding a camera poses a risk is a form of vague profiling, and it has no legal standing. Officers are required to base their actions on clear, reasonable suspicion connected directly to the individual in front of them. General fears or historical incidents cannot be used as a substitute for evidence. When authority is exercised without a link to present behavior, it crosses into harassment. Lawful filming does not become suspicious simply because of past problems elsewhere. Treating it that way is not only unjust, it is contrary to the law and undermines the principles meant to protect public freedoms.